Please welcome Shay Khatiri.
Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to share my story. I know many of you are here partly because you're concerned about the threats posed by Iran to Israel and the United States. My personal story is also about Iran. It is about the Iranian regime and how I've chosen to respond. I'm not Jewish. I was born and raised in Gorgan, Iran. But I believe that my soul was manufactured in the United States. I felt like an American before I ever stepped a foot in this country. I resented the Iranian regime, even when I was quite young, because they hurt my family. Both of my parents were political prisoners in Iran. They tortured my father. They took everything from us. My heart grew heavy. I experienced a sense of hopelessness and fell into a deep depression. My parents knew that I had to get out. So when I turned 22, they encouraged me to leave the country. It was the ultimate act of loving parents to tell their young son to move away from them and everything familiar. They hoped that the unfamiliar life of freedom and openness would save my soul and ultimately my life. The minute I got off the plane in America, I felt lighter, freer, happier. For the first time, I experienced something that made me look forward to my future: hope. I enrolled at Arizona State University and became involved in political life. Imagine the freedom I felt engaging in democracy for the first time. For me, college Republicans aligned most with my views. Soon, I became a board member of our school's chapter. Through my political work, I found AIPAC. Specifically, I found Jared, Caleb, Jacob, Jake, and many other Jewish friends whose welcoming nature gave me a tight-knit family of peers. And that family grew. They invited me to their homes for Shabbat dinners and to celebrate the holidays. They encouraged me as a leader on campus to travel with them to AIPAC's annual policy conference. And it was here that I witnessed firsthand what it is like when 18,000 Americans give voice to their political beliefs. Back in Arizona, I became the campus legislative coordinator for our pro-Israel group. I worked across party lines with college Democrats to strengthen the US-Israel relationship. At first, people seemed confused about why I am pro-Israel. But it makes perfect sense to me. Let me explain. First, I'm Persian, and we love our Cyrus the Great. To us, he is the greatest man ever lived. History teaches us that he went to Babylon to liberate the Jewish slaves and gave them protection under the law to practice their faith freely. He made Iran the first country to become an ally of the Jewish people. But my connection to the Jewish people and my support for Israel is not just because of my Persian background. I have the honor to have been blacklisted by the Iranian regime. I'm here in the United States seeking political asylum. As a young man pursuing my American dream, I celebrate the values of freedom and liberty wherever I find them. In the Middle East, a region cursed by tyrants, how could I, as an aspiring American, not support the only liberal democracy, Israel? This past fall, I moved to Washington, D.C. to pursue a graduate degree in international studies at Johns Hopkins University. I plan to become a national security strategist and serve my country, the United States of America. As I searched for an apartment in D.C., once again, it was my Jewish friends who helped me while I looked for a place to live. I was staying with my friend Sarah the weekend of October 27th when we heard the news. A shooter had taken aim at worshipers praying inside the Tree of Life synagogue in Pittsburgh. We searched social media for updates, and like all of you, stayed glued to the TV. And then we heard the sentence that rocked me to my core. Reporters shared the attacker's own words. He wanted to kill Jews because of their support for immigrants. As an immigrant who continues to know the kindness and the generosity of those in the Jewish community, I was heartbroken. I wanted to help. I wanted my Jewish friends, those who had always surrounded me with love and support, I wanted them to feel my love and support. I did something impulsively that I thought might make a small difference. I started a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for Tree of Life Synagogue. In a matter of 2 hours, the campaign went viral. In just a few days, we raised more than $1 million for the victims and their families. Thank you. Thank you. The response was overwhelming, but it was not surprising. Not to me. I know that America is more than a country. America is an ideal. It is the power we have to bring light to others. So, I want to say thank you for the work you do to spread the light of freedom and hope. Thank you for working to strengthen two great democracies, two countries which continue to offer their people the greatest gifts of all, a voice and the right to pursue happiness. Thank you.